did, Hokies went on to win that game 3-0.
And as we talked about it, you saw it right there in your graphic, 5 shutouts on the season, which is a season high for him. We are underway from Thompson Field on this Friday evening as Virginia Tech rocking their all-whites, the orange stripes on the front. Louisville in their all-blacks in the 22nd all-time meeting between the two teams. Virginia Tech leading the all-time series 13-5-3. Virginia Tech defeated number 5 Louisville at the time last season 2-1 in that last match back in September of last season.
And Virginia Tech, on that first attack, is doing what I think they're going to do all game, which is try and get the ball wide, either get low crosses in, high crosses in, and try and target their man that's on fire, Dagur Traustason, coming off that hat trick against Longwood. And I think, like I said, I think he's the missing piece. You missed a couple games early because of injury. He's easing his way back into the lineup, really starting to get his fitness the last couple games has made a difference for them offensively.
And we talked a little bit about that in the open. 2 goals in his last 3 games. The other one was against ETSU, and then back against Longwood. Went from having 1 goal to now 4 and leads the Hokies in scoring.
Yeah, and that's something they need because I think they have some good creative players. They have kind of the players that can set the table, but they haven't had always someone that can eat the meal. And Traustason was eating on Tuesday with those 3 goals.
So Virginia Tech coming off that win versus Longwood, winning that 3-0. It was the first 3-goal game since October 15th of last season. As we talked about it, Dagur Traustason had that hat trick. It was the first 3-goal game for the Hokies since October of 2019. First Gardner Webb and Christo Strickler was the one to complete that.
You'll see Joseph just has control of the game. Ball at his foot. He can put it wherever he wants it. And I think this side with Uimana getting forward is going to be a big key for Virginia Tech. That's the kind of player they win on the ball in those deep situations.
And we had a conversation about Uimana, especially here, and you and I were having a conversation about Longwood really just not playing on his side in that game on Tuesday night.
Yeah, didn't attack him much at all, and he gets forward so well as he is right now, but a rare bad touch gives away the goal kick.
Uimana has that one go out of bounds. Let's meet our head coaches here. Starting tonight with head coach Mike Brenzendine. Mike Brenzendine here in his 17th season overall as charge of the Hokies. 6 NCAA tournaments here, 117, 40, 143, and 49 his record.
See Louisville kind of build out of the back and be a little bit more meticulous on this possession. They were going pretty direct in their first couple chances. Their 4-3-3, they also, like Virginia Tech, want to kind of get the ball wide and then work their way in.
Up here on this near side, Virginia Tech coming off that win versus Longwood 3-0. Louisville ended in a draw versus Belmont back this last Tuesday, and a game that Belmont really was in charge of and in control of in that first half. It wasn't really until the second half that you started to see Louisville start to pick up tempo a bit, but that was thanks to a red card on Belmont back there in the middle part of that second half.
And John Michael Hayden's been messing with his lineup a little bit. 2 changes today. Bilal Kamara comes in that attacking midfield spot. He started every game but one, the one being the Belmont game. Then you go back to Michael Lee up top. He also did not start in that game. That was his only non-start of the year. So I think they were trying to do something different against Belmont. It didn't work because they didn't score, and now they're back to familiar faces in their attack.
We're just trying to find a way to unlock this offense here. Here's a chance right in front of the box. Sends it over here to the near side to Perez. Puts on the moves. Here's Perez shot. That one's deflected and sent back around, and Louisville will clear.
And that's a big key for Louisville. You asked me earlier what their defensive keys are. I think another big one is they have size. So it's really hard to cross the ball over them. They are touch tight when they mark. You saw it there. That was a really good position for Perez in the box, but really had no options in the box because they had it locked down nicely with their marks. He was trying to find Traustason in there and couldn't.
Chase Vasquez right there, who paces the team with 3 goals and 2 assists on the year. Also a note right there you see on your screen, number 11, and Michael Lee. Didn't get the start last week, trying to a couple things different, maybe coming into the game to try to get some fresh legs. He does get the start here this Friday evening.
Well, when you mentioned the youth of this lineup for Louisville, that's the way it's been all year. They haven't given a single start to their seniors. But at this point in the season, especially if you're a freshman or sophomore, the legs start to get a little bit heavy. You've been playing a lot of games. You've been training a lot. So I think that was part of the thinking against Belmont was let's rotate some guys, let's keep some guys a little bit fresher for the weekend because this is a very big ACC game for both of these teams as they try and get into the tournament race.
Michael Lee, the active leading goal scorer for Louisville going back to last season. Let's take a look at the head coach for Louisville and John Michael Hayden, who usually goes by JMH in his 7th year here at Louisville, was the midfielder there at Indiana and the College Cup champion in 03 and 04.
Yeah, scored some legendary goals for that Hoosiers team to get them those 2 College Cup championships. And, it's always good to see those players that are kind of the heart and soul of a college team go on to become coaches and bring that experience and that intensity to the sideline that they did to the field.
And we had a conversation with him earlier this week and just really was just frustrated and just disappointed in that match against Belmont. It felt like it was a game they should have won, but just trying to find a way to get Louisville going. It's really been a tale of 2 different seasons. They started the season out 5-0, their best start in program history, but since then it's just been sort of a free fall for this Cardinals team.
Yeah, and the game that you would probably give them the least chance to win is the game they won. They beat Stanford 1-0, who was number 1 in the nation at the time, and really high again right now in the top 25.
This is a Louisville team that at one point was up to 6 in the rankings after beating Stanford, number 1 team, and the number 6 team. Here's a chance there for Michael Lee inside. But after beating Stanford and then Ohio State, since then they have been searching for their first win. September 9th that game was. 0-4-2 since then, being outscored 8-2. Take a look here. Louisville has just been, since that day, have just been struggling here as of late, but like we talked about, just trying to just find a way to get that offense going.
Well, and I think that's the issue because it's not like they've been leaking 3 or 4 goals a game. Their defense has still been very good. So if you just get a little bit better offensively, you're going to get results. I was laughing looking at their notes that their largest halftime deficit here is 1-0. It's not like they've been out of any game they've played. They just haven't been able to finish.
It's been now ticking out, coming into this game, 271 minutes of game time without a goal. So that's just been a challenge. Shutout 6 of the last 11. And that goal actually was scored there by Quintus in the 89th minute versus Kentucky. He has not played the last few games either.
Yeah, and that was the only change they've really had to that back line. They brought him in as a transfer from Wisconsin. He had started every game until he was banged up. That helps a lot, too, when you have the same guys. You know how each other work. You know what your goalkeeper's voice sounds like in your ear, what your teammate's voice sounds like in your ear. That's a good way to build that foundation, is have those guys have chemistry.
Again, talking to John Michael Hayden this week, as we just talked about, just the frustration part. And we asked him, how do you get back to that style of play? And he says they've been throwing everything pretty much the kitchen sink at it, just to try and find a way just to get Louisville going here. And they've stuck with a lot of these teams, just as we talked about, as Virginia Tech at times this season, not being able to finish. It's going for Louisville as well this season.
And for Virginia Tech, this is a big game. You dropped a winnable home game against Boston College a couple weeks ago. This is another team that's around you in the standings that you have to have. And also, because of what Louisville did early in the year, if you win this game, it's going to help your RPI. It's going to help your numbers because this is still a top 25 RPI team in Louisville.
As that one goes out of bounds, they'll throw this one in here. He's talking about that Longwood game, but Mike Brenzendine just really just described midweek games as just psychologically tricky, but well managed.
Yeah, I thought they played really well, especially in the first half. Longwood only had 1 or 2 looks in that first half. Once they got down a couple, they had to open up a little bit more and were a little bit more dangerous in the attack. But again, Virginia Tech handled that. We mentioned that earlier, the one big save that Joseph made. They also gave up a free kick right on the edge of the box that went into the wall. Those are really the only 2 times that I felt like Sam Joseph and his back line were under any kind of duress. They did a really nice job of keeping the ball, not making bad decisions with the ball, being patient on the attack and creating opportunities.
Virginia Tech team right now at 4 draws on the season. Had that draw against the number 23 team at the time in Notre Dame. There a couple weeks ago after that win against ETSU off to Notre Dame. And Virginia Tech, they've played well, and they stuck with these top teams.
And again, like we said with Louisville, it's because Virginia Tech is defense first. Joseph is excellent in goal. Their back line has been really good. We mentioned the job they've gotten from Uemana at the one outside back position. They've rotated the other spot. it's Joao Felicio today. He's played pretty well as a freshman too.
There's Declan Quill. We're back at that Boston College game at a career high 7 shots. Led all players in that game. Here's Louisville, strikes this one up to Michael Lee on the near side. Trying to go up against Oimana here, not afraid to challenge an attack on his side.
This is good from Louisville. Knock it around. You don't have to be too impatient. You haven't had as much of the ball as Virginia Tech, so get settled in a little bit here on the road. Play some keep away, but I like Tech's shape defensively in this 4-3-3. They're not allowing that easy pass over the top, forcing it wide.
Send it back to the far side, back over there to Parham. Parham sends it, squares it back up to Michael Lee. Has some space, kicks it back out to Kamara. Kamara's shot goes wide.
Lee's activity on that play was fantastic. Found an extra gear to get to that ball first. Seemed like the defender was sleeping a little bit. That allowed Lee to come in and make a nice incisive pass, and then that's got to be better from Kamara.
Kamara still looking for his first goal on the season, is tied for the team leading in assists, which is actually also 5th in the conference.
But the stats kind of tell the story. 15 shots, only 4 on target. He's gotten opportunities, but he hasn't been too accurate.
And a Louisville team that Virginia Tech really expected to come out hot. And then Virginia Tech just wanted that first 10 minutes here so far just to settle down a little bit. This is a very hungry Cardinals team. What is your thoughts so far on this the Virginia Tech team kind of fending off this Louisville offense?
Yeah, I think they've done a nice job defensively. Really, that last attack was the only time they've really been troubled. And then on offense, again, I think their strength is working it wide. They've done that with more direct play like on the last attack. They've had a little bit more build-up to get Uimana in a good spot on that right channel. But again, I think Louisville, they're attacking a 4-3-3. Now it looks more like a 4-5-1 when they defend, where they've kind of got Lee playing a little bit higher, and then those 4 other forwards are tucking in, helping defend on the wings.
As of right now, only 1 shot so far registered from Virginia Tech. Traustason has that one so far, and then you have for the other side for Louisville and Kamara that we saw moments ago. Louisville reset, and here comes Virginia Tech putting some pressure on as they'll send it up to midfield. And there's Michael Lee, as you mentioned, getting the start here today after coming off the bench last week where he had 3 attempts versus Belmont Tuesday.
Louisville's trying to play direct out of the back and haven't had a lot of success with it, really. Their only attack has come from better build-up.
And squeezing that one out right there. Here comes Quill. He'll send it back in. Here's Traustason out back over. Gives it to Macarno. Macarno sends it up, tried to head it in, had an opportunity. It's one of those parts they tried to finish as Perez had the header opportunity.
Really good ball here from Marcano. Pick it up on the edge of the box and just hit a hopeful little chip across the face of the goal. That's tough for a goalkeeper to read. Also really tough for a defender to play at that level, because if you get a touch on it, it could go anywhere. It could go in your goal. It could go up for a corner kick. So that's exactly the kind of hard-driven ball you want to play. And you see why Perez is leading this team in assists right now. He and Marcano, I thought, were 2 of their real standouts against Longwood, and got assists in that very fashion, playing crosses from the edge of the box, just inside the box, that Traustason was able to finish. Those are how they got the first 2 goals. And then Perez put a really nice through ball for the 3rd goal.
DeBlasis will send that out to midfield, and here's Michael Lee, who's quick on his feet, but Virginia Tech here now on the attack. Here comes Declan Quill, who's been busy here so late. His shot, that one's deflected right off the right foot of DeBlasis. And for the first time today, we are going to get a Virginia Tech corner.
Good decision there from Traustason. He could have played that ball, but it would have been a tough angle for him. Might as well just let it go out and take a corner kick.
So taking this one up is Ian Marcano, who will take the corner.
Virginia Tech's doing what they want. They're getting good penetration right on the edge of the box where they can play those hard crosses in, play some balls towards the back post. They have a lot of options. And I think those players can also cut it and shoot from those spots too. I think we'll see that as well.
Here's Marcano. Good set. Airly, that one just goes out of play.
Yeah, I think the plan there was to kind of head it and have the second ball be the one you put on goal. That was more of a pass than a shot, and really nobody was there in white to get on the end of that. So I like the concept of that set piece, but the execution and the final touch wasn't there.
Let's look at the goalkeeper here for Louisville, who's been here a little busy here as of late off that corner kick. Tied for first in shutouts. And this is really, when you look at it from an individual standpoint, it's a really good goalkeeper battle, as we talked about. Sam Joseph on the other side, but you look at Stepnoff, who's had an ACC Defensive Player of the Week honor, as has Joseph. So really just this goalkeeper battle has just really been low-key some of the storylines coming into this one tonight.
And one of the few guys that has experience with the NCAA tournament team 2 years ago, because they've turned over almost his entire roster. So not only is he the oldest guy as a redshirt junior, but that's a position you want vocal leadership from, and Svetanov gives that to them. He's excellent.
As things starting to settle down here now. Michael Minnick, Ford Martin here with us. Thank you for joining us today's coverage on the ACC Network Plus. And take it down, so Virginia Tech will still hold on here. And they'll send it back up. Now here he is using some of that speed. Back on the far side, kicks it up. Intended right there for Vasquez. And racing back just in time. Great play there by Arieli.
Arieli did a nice job of cutting off that angle, because really the only passing option was to go through for Chase Vasquez. He did a nice job of cutting off that angle, making it hard. And so that forced a couple extra dribbles, and then the angle for the pass just wasn't there. So that could have been dangerous for Louisville, but Virginia Tech defended it extremely well and took away the danger.
Two shots for VT, one for Louisville here with approaching 28 minutes to go here in the first half of play.
Joseph is just going to sit there until he gets something he likes. The movement he likes, the pass he likes. He's just going to take the simple ball to the left side.
As Vasquez try to go up there and make him get it away.
Something I thought Virginia Tech did well on Tuesday was move the ball quickly. They're not moving it as quickly, and that's a credit to Louisville. Their shape's been really good, not allow that easy pass forward.
Near side down for Perez. Didn't like what he saw, so they're going to go back and reset up here with Schroeder.
And they wanted to kind of run a give and go with Perez, but Louisville was pretty smart to that and didn't allow it to happen.
This is no young team here for Virginia Tech. 4 freshmen on the team have scored at least 1 goal this season, accounting for 50% of the goal scorers and 53.8% of all goals in 2025.
And we've talked about Perez, Marcano being good pieces for this team, only sophomores. So I feel like both of these teams have talent, but the reason why they're near the bottom of the ACC is they don't have the experience to go with that talent. You look at the teams near the top of the table, near the top of the top 25, they're teams that have the younger players for sure, but also have those juniors and seniors that have been rock stars for them for a couple years, know what to do, know how to navigate conference play. These teams are going to be forces in a couple years, but they're so young that they haven't been able to quite get the results that they wanted based on their talent.
That's something that we saw there. Just the young team, they're kind of thrown into the fire here
Yeah.
to start this season, and just by the way they played here, and really rely on. You have some young captains here on this Louisville team.
Yeah, sophomores and juniors, and I think that's smart too, because this is a team that is going to grow into their abilities, grow into what they have. So you might as well make those guys leaders right now rather than wait. And also, because you're not starting any seniors, I think it'd be awkward to have a senior be a captain and only play 15, 20 minutes. So you need those younger guys to step up and lead on the field, off the field. Might as well do it early.
Earlier this week, John Michael Hayden telling us just the leaders are just actively reinforcing just the cultural standards and just the consistency messages here when we're talking about this young captain team as a redshirt junior, 2 sophomores, as we talked about as the captains.
I like the job that Virginia Tech has done defensively in this game to keep the game in front of them. They really have not allowed Louisville speed to get in behind. We talked about the danger that Lee brings. They've kind of kept things in front of them, and I think that's really good because you know Joseph can handle things in behind for you.
Near side here for Schroeder. He'll send it up. Traustason right there as he'll head it out. Out there behind himself, a swarm of black jerseys all around him as they'll send it right back, intended there for Sam Joseph. We were talking about right there during the senior day festivities that were happening before the game. It's really not hard to miss Sam Joseph.
6'4" and blonde. He stands out in the crowd, especially wearing orange like he is today.
Just when you thought you couldn't pick him out enough, the full orange on display. Far side back out, just inside the box. Turn around, and Louisville will clear for the time being. Settle this one down for Krieg. They'll try to throw this one across, and a nice diving save there by Stefanoff. That's the best chance we've seen for Virginia Tech so far.
Yeah, Stefanoff had that covered the whole way. That was a tough spot because you're either going to have to cross it or shoot it. We'll take a look at this angle. It was a nice ball in from Beltran Alvarez to work it wide. Then Quill had to kind of double back, play the 1-2. But from this angle, you're not going to be able to score. So this was meant to be a cross, meant to be further out. Anything outside the 6, I think, is fair game for Virginia Tech. Inside the 6, Fedenoff's going to catch that every time. Cut that back a little bit more, and Perez has to look at goal.
Maybe he's trying to hope for possibly get a rebound, possibly off of that, but
he's not going to get a rebound on that shot. Stefanoff's going to cover that every time.
Stefanoff, just especially had the way he's played. Going to be very tricky to try to get a rebound off of him, making that stretching save out. (2-1) your shots here, led here by Virginia Tech. There's Stefanoff there.
It's interesting with some of these teams. A lot of times you'll see the goalkeeper take the goal kicks. Louisville's having defenders take it, and I think it's just immediately build that possession. The danger of that is, though, with 2 players that deep in the box, Virginia Tech can set a little bit higher. They can basically sit at the top of the box and try and force a turnover right away.
.42-42 here to go in the first half from Thompson Field. Louisville in their all blacks. Virginia Tech in their whites.
You saw how congested that space was. Virginia Tech did a really good job of defending in numbers and forcing Louisville to double back.
Far side here, back over towards midfield, and they'll try and send it back up. It's Virginia Tech been more on the offensive side than we have seen Louisville. Louisville came out trying to attack early. We saw that one chance they had early on, but since then, Virginia Tech starting to control the possession now. As he's tripped up from behind.
Not going to get the call, though. This will be a throw-in.
Contact there from Parham on Bellatrosh.
Yeah, Louisville, for the most part, has sat back and not really tried to high press Virginia Tech. Trying to keep more of a defensive shape and then try and build out of the back like they are right here. We haven't seen them really get their center midfielders on the ball much at all. It's been a lot of direct play or play up the wing like we're seeing right here. And a good read from Joseph to come get that himself.
And Joseph sends this one almost right up here near the booth upstairs. He launched that one to the top deck.
I didn't bring my glove. I should have. Bring my net, my fishing net, catch the ball. Sam Joseph has been so good. And what a pickup in the transfer portal. A guy that started some for UCLA, especially in the postseason, he got looks, but wasn't always their consistent number 1. Comes here, he's been the guy. Played every minute in goal this year.
Guy who's been highly trusted by the staff and the teammates and just been constantly delivering just key saves for these Hokies team.
Just talked about the job Joseph did to be proactive. How about Svednov halfway into his defensive end, playing that ball out of the back? You got to be precise in that situation. He was, and able to clear it cleanly.
Kind of looking back there at Sam Joseph, ranked 22nd in the nation and 5th in the ACC with 5 shutouts, landing 45th. With a .90 mark in goals against average.
2 pretty early changes for Louisville. We mentioned Kamara coming back into the lineup. He's out. Chase Vasquez as well. So currently John Michael Hayes not happy with the work he's getting from those attacking mid and forward spots. Makes 2 pretty quick substitutions in this game.
They'll send this one ahead for See, Uwimana was right there in the direction as that one just trickles out of bounds here as Lee is challenging it here, trying to say it's his, and Louisville win that little challenge.
It's been interesting that Virginia Tech's tried to kind of play it in the air to Uwimana. He's good in the air, but he's also 5'10", so he's not exactly the ideal target for a ball like that as Virginia Tech wins possession back.
Far side and lasers that one, goes wide, and how about the cannon right off the foot we saw there from Declan Quill.
Yeah, Quill has just mishit a couple of these. We mentioned the chance he had in deep where the cross was too direct, too square to the goalkeeper. That one was overhit. Didn't have much of an angle on it. He's got himself in good positions, but he's got to execute those crosses better.
He's been close so many times to a goal. 22 shots, 10 shots on goal, which is tied for both. And the team lead just hasn't been able to finish.
Yeah, just one goal last year, too. Again, a good player gets himself in positions, but got to put those away. Got to put those away when you get in a good position.
Especially when you see a lot of the volume just in those shots that he's had. You're just waiting for one of those just to go in. It's got to go in eventually.
And the hope is once one goes in, then the weight
start
comes
falling,
off the
yes.
shoulders and they start going like crazy. Exactly.
This one sent by Michael Lee, and nice job heading that one out right there in front of Joseph. As Virginia Tech will clear that one out. Good opportunity for the Cards.
Yeah, Arieli has played really well in that center back spot. He's had a couple of good clearances from that left center back position.
Right at midfield here again, and that one's just going to be picked off red very nicely there. Bekalolihi out here again now. Here comes Ricano. He'll pitch back out to Perez, who sends it across, and knocking that one out on the defensive side was Jack Lewis.
How about the job there from Marcano? You lose possession, you immediately win it back, and not only do you win it back, you immediately go hit the gas, go in the attack, start an attack, win yourself a corner kick. Nice job by him in that center midfield position.
Yeah, second corner kick for Virginia Tech in this first half.
And always on these plays, Traustason's the guy. 6'3", really good target in the box for Virginia Tech.
So the sophomore Perez will send the corner off the left foot. A low shot as that one's deflected inside the box. Virginia Tech will still hold on here.
Yeah, Alvarez was the closest to it, but never really got his balance there.
Just a loft to Perez and too far. Going up with the left hand in time. Svetnov there.
Yeah, Svetnov's got to be sure in that situation to come that far out. Made a really confident play there. Short corner.
Back-to-back corners, they go quick. And again, Louisville, as we talked about that in our open, just that back line, just not giving Virginia Tech too many looks here.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's got to mix those corners. Again, Traustason's the target, but it becomes a matter of how do you get him open the best? If you serve it in direct, they know that's coming. There'll be one or two guys on it. That short corner, you're hoping to change the angle, make Louisville come out a little bit, maybe lose their marks a little bit more, challenge the ball, and then you play the second ball in towards the far post.
Svetnov will send this, or excuse me, make that Joseph, that is, as they'll center up here. Here's Silo for Uwimana. Now for Perez, who tries to get some space. Sends this one as it curls in, and just too high.
Again, really good service from Perez. He's hit some excellent crosses, just not quite on the same page at the far post, but I really like that look. So you cut in from the inside, you're on your left foot, you've got some space, bend that ball in towards the far post, and it just seems like Bellatrosh was about a half second away from timing that header. I don't know if maybe he didn't see it clean off the foot, but it just seemed like his timing was off. But that was a good thought. And the hope with that is either Bellatrosh can shoot it or head it back across the face of goal and somebody can get a tap in.
He tried to use all of his 5'8" height right there to go and head that one and potentially center it up.
Yeah, you're right. If he's 5'10" or 5'11", that probably is headed cleanly, but just a little too short.
That's where you're really wanting Dagur Traustason there in that position.
That's what Virginia Tech pretty much did against Longwood, was play that service in. They got a couple cracks at it, and that was really what Longwood struggled with, was that service from the outside. They couldn't get the ball clear. Louisville has done a better job of clearing the ball, but still, that's what Virginia Tech wants to do.
Traustason there with contact.
Yeah. trying to win that header, but you can't wrap your arms around the defender to win that header. Pretty easy call for Kyle Johnston, and our center ref, and his crew today.
And whistled right there as Noah DeBlasis was knocked over. 6-3 on 6-4. Trying to see if we'll see a little more of that offense for Louisville. Here's Michael Lee on the near side. On Uemana, he sends this one up, and right there Virginia Tech does a nice job able to clear that out by the back line. They'll send it at midfield.
Yeah, Alvarez has been a good two-way player winning that header there. But that's what Louisville wants to do. They want to get Lee isolated on that side where he can either beat somebody and go to goal or go down that line and cross the ball in. It was a good cross, but well handled by Alvarez out of the air.
Michael Lee quick on his feet, having a couple nice setups here, just if the Cards can hold as that one goes out of bounds.
Again, I've been so impressed with Virginia Tech center backs in this game. Their marks have been really good and track things, but especially Arielli, who you see there. The trick with that is you don't want to obstruct. You don't want to stop and obstruct the player because then it's a foul. You got to keep your feet moving. So he did a nice job. It was almost like a post player in basketball where you get position and kind of shift your feet, work the angle, and let the ball go out for a goal kick.
13:41 to go here in this first half from Thompson Field on International Night. Been a special night here for the Hokies.
Decent chance we're going to see an international score in this game, too, between these two teams. A lot of attacking quality from overseas or across the border. A lot of Canadians for Louisville and a lot of Euros for Virginia Tech.
As we look at a lot of international freshmen on this team for the Hokies. 6 players representing 7 different countries.
Yeah, so it's not only an adjustment in terms of soccer, but it's an adjustment in terms of culture, learning the American system and the way they do things over here versus the way they do things in Iceland or wherever.
And you've seen it here a couple times that will show up here on our left side. It's the flags they have hanging up right here is a turnaround shot. That one is knocked off on the opportunity there again, for Louisville.
And again, Arielli was the player that was on that far side that kind of stopped that attack dead, really broke up the flow for Louisville. I think he's been really good in this game.
As Quentin Wilson had that chance.
This game just feels like pretty much what I expected. It's going to take a great play, a moment of magic, or a mistake. These are not teams that are going to give up a lot of goals, so you have to be really efficient because one mistake could cost you the game.
And tackled right there for the whistle. Let's see who they're going to call this on.
It's going to go on Traustason, and he's going to get a warning. He's been a little physical, so I think the referee's just saying 1 or 2 more of those, and you're going to see a yellow card.
And him and Noah DeBlasis have very much made each other been 2 peas in a pod here to start this first half together.
Yeah, they're going to know what's in each other's pockets by the end of the game. I think that's such a key matchup in this game because, again, I think Virginia Tech's wide players are going to get service to Traustason.
Oh, whiffed on it there. Here's Kondich, and going back, Sam Joseph just hit the side of his foot, didn't get everything he needed, let that ball bounce, didn't take it in, tried to kick it back. Take another look at that. Just a bit of a whiff on it.
Again, just a really good job to slow things down just enough by Virginia Tech because if that's a clean turnover and a shot, it's 1-0. But just that amount of slowdown, cut down the angle. Joseph was able to hustle back. You saw the rueful smile in his face. He knew he got away with one there.
That was one of the breaks that Louisville just needed there, but not able to finish. Good work by Joseph getting back in time. Here's Perez setting things up for the Hokies. Takes his time, dances his way back out. Tried to find the streaking Quill, and slide tackle back out as they'll reset with Schroeder.
Louisville's midfield and defense did a really nice job there of overloading that side, basically double teaming Uemana, forcing things back to Perez.
Send it back up is trying to race his way in there was Uemana.
And that's what I was just talking about on the other end. DeBlasis with some really good body control there, moving the feet just enough that you're not going to get called for obstructing the forward. Good look there at No Way Uemana. junior captain for this team and guy that's played in every minute but 17. And, you know, I like what I've seen from Perez, but we'll see what they can get a different boost here from Alvaro Ruiz Mateos, Spanish international freshman, 1 assist on the year. And again, a like-for-like sub here. A tricky player, good on the dribble, and one wing replacing another tricky player that's good on the dribble on the wing.
Yeah, his 9th appearance on the season. Who assisted back on that game winner against Ohio State.
Yeah, both these teams did really well against Ohio State. I bet they wish they were in the ACC because both got results against them. But the conference play has been the struggle for both of these teams.
Yeah, both sides still. Louisville still trying to get back in the win column. They do have one ACC win. That was against the #1 team in the country, as we talked about in Stanford. Virginia Tech 0-2-2 on the season in conference play.
And again, you have to kind of turn the page, but that Boston College game was one you dominated, had a lot of chances, missed a penalty kick. That was a really hurtful loss to Virginia Tech's ACC tournament hopes.
Trying to strike here and has some open space now. Far side. Going to settle it down. A reset back here in front of the box in front. And nice work by Savetnov.
Yeah, Svetanov has done a really good job of controlling that box. You see here, he's pointing directions, he's arranging everybody. He's thinking about what he wants to do, but he's also talking to his teammates to say, hey, make sure you cover this channel, make sure you get this mark. He's constantly moving and working back there, and he's got the best view on the team. He can see everything in front of him. He's got 21 players in front of him. He can direct traffic from the back there.
Virginia Tech right now leading in the corners category 3-0.
But I don't feel like they've done much with them. The first one they got a decent look off of, but really they've not been able to get a look on goal from those 3 corners. That's something that they would have loved to have done. And I think, like you said, that's the key stat of the half, is you've gotten 3 corners. What have you really done with them? Not too much.
And we saw that third one there. Just went quick.
Yeah.
And to just try to surprise Louisville just a bit there. As they'll try to settle things down.
I'm not a fan of short corners as a go-to option, but I like it as a change-up once in a while, especially with the wide players that Virginia Tech has. Get Perez in a good position. Get Alvarez in a good position. Get somebody like Quill in a good position. I don't mind that. But I do think with Traustason in there, you want to play some direct balls in there too on the corner kicks.
Here's Mercano. Over there to Ruiz Mateos, who just entered moments ago. And not in time, as that one just went out of bounds. Quill couldn't get to it in time, and it'll be a Louisville possession.
Yeah, a bit of a heavy touch there from Quill. It's tough in space like that to get the little touch you want, but just overhit that a little bit. You want to be aggressive with your touch, create space for yourself, but you also have to have the nice firm control inside to create the space to shoot it.
Had Boydell streak into the net, but just trickled out of bounds. Savetnov now will kick this one away on the goal kick and just past midfield. And here again, Virginia Tech has some numbers there. And nice work there on that line for Louisville. Just not giving it too easy for Virginia Tech. They've been more holding the possession side, but as we talked about in our open, just that back line for Louisville has been one of the bright spots here this season for the Cardinals.
And Quill has drifted a little bit more centrally with the substitutions that Virginia Tech has made, trying to get him in a position where he can finish.
Kick this one up here. And Virginia Tech now, as that's kicked away, and now for the 4th time, we're going to get a Virginia Tech corner.
Got bailed out there because it went for a corner, but that's got to be a situation where you cross it with your first touch. You can't take extra touches there. Your angle is at its best. The element of surprise is at its best. You hit that first time, you're going to have more options in the box.
Marcano now for the 4th corner on the evening.
Don't have Traustason as a target now, so I think this is more of a get a second touch and finish as the clock will stop here.
Here's a sophomore at 5:35 to go as a reset.
The ball was about 2 rolls out of the corner arc, so they had to make sure that was exactly on the line before this corner kick was taken.
Got to get everything you can. But a low shot. That was right there in front. That went right through. Had a chance, but not able to finish. the best look that Virginia Tech has had so far.
That ball had eyes. I don't know how it got through without hitting anybody.
It got through everybody.
We'll take a second look at it. It was a really good service in, driven hard towards that near post, bent in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies it goes past, untouched for the goal kick.
Look right there.
And
Not sure if you can try that again and it would succeed.
And I'll give credit to Louisville's defense on that as well, especially at the far post. Just putting a body on the attacker there, I believe it was Quill, kept that from being a tap-in because he couldn't get his body through to get an angle on that shot.
And they'll send this one up right here. Racing for it, there's Quill. And Louisville again will clear this one out. 4:40 to go here in the first half. Tied at 3 shots apiece.
Virginia Tech's had so much of the ball. But again, like you said, to have that much of the ball and be even in shots is disappointing, I think, for this Virginia Tech team.
On the near side, just trying to get some space, Oimana, who finds Mercano as Mercano sends it back off. And the goalkeeper will glove that one up.
Boring did well there for Louisville, just again holding up the run of Quill, not allowing him to get a clean jump at that ball, and creating a pocket there for Svetanoff to come off and just make an easy catch.
Svetanoff just sends it right there. And a reset here again, try the second time.
The problem he had there was a separation. You had 3 or 4 Louisville forwards about the midfield line. Everybody else in black was playing defensively, so there really wasn't somebody in the midfield for Svetanoff to serve there, and he just had to kind of give possession away.
Say, look, it surprised Jack Boring right there that he dished that one over to him and kicked it right back. Here's Virginia Tech, who has just really been all over Louisville here so far, inside to cross it up, going up with the foot. Nice play there to get that out. Still inside the box. Racing for it, just kicks that one right to net and getting the left glove out in time. Another stretching save there by Svetanoff.
Virginia Tech's appealing, saying that there should have been a penalty kick, and they are going to go to VAR on this and look at it. So, touch at the top of the box, tackle and tangle there. I didn't see a foul there. It might have been on the previous attack. Like they let play go here. This will be a good look at it. So, clearance towards the top of the box. Felicio chested down. Does take some contact. I don't think that will be a penalty kick, but I think it's worth looking at least. And referee Kyle Johnson can give his opinion, but I don't feel like there was enough contact there for a penalty kick.
So they're coming here to the booth, as you see right here, going to take another look at that. So, yeah, I agree. Didn't really see any there that would warrant a penalty kick, but want to make sure we get this right with 3 minutes to play in the first half.
Felicio, when he went down, did really well there to keep that alive. He was basically on his knees there, made a little pass to keep the play alive, and Virginia Tech had a good look off of it. But, again, that's what they're looking at is that first contact. They played advantage there, didn't materialize, and now good refereeing to take a look at it.
So as they take a look right here, this should be a short review, and they're already taking the headset off already.
Nope, just a goal kick. No problem.
So we'll take one more look at that right there again.
All right, they were looking to see if
maybe
there
was a
handball there, and it wasn't. So not going to get that call either. Also, that's a natural position for your hand. It's not like he was sticking his arm out or being in a natural position. That's a natural position for your hand. And that's something that handball rule has evolved on the last couple of years, where if you have it, and you also saw him trying to tuck it back in behind just to make sure. But that arm is just by his side. That's a natural position. You're not going to see that get called as much as it would have been 5 or 10 years ago. But again, it went cleanly through, it looked like to me.
So with that is now going to be the 5th corner for Virginia Tech, as that went off the goalkeeper.
Probably should get that second ball off the field, too, before we get going. As you see it get thrown in behind. Different look here with Felicio taking this corner kick. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a short one, and maybe he gets a touch back and crosses it in.
The one time on this side, it was a quick one, and they'll do the same type of format again. Sends this one right up on net and batted out there. Nice work by Svetanoff.
Yeah, I like that set piece a lot. Bellatrash had a ton of space at the top of the box. So you play it short, you play it to him, hits it first time. That was an excellent save from Svedanoff going to his right. Tough to make in traffic, too.
And he's been busy in this first half.
And this is virtually like a corner kick, too, with a long throw in.
Nice setup right in. And that one's headed out again by that back line of Louisville.
And that was a great throw.
Oh, how about that nifty looking move? Sends this one up and again headed out by the Cards.
But you see why Traustason is such a weapon for this team, because they cross it so well, but they don't have that target in there right now.
They'll reload again. This time it's batted out. Right there again, Svetnov, a nice save, and Louisville's been on their heels here.
A really good sequence here from Virginia Tech. This is the shot from Bellatrosh trying to bend it in against Svetnov all the way. Really tough there to punch it away from everybody, too. That's the really tough part. And then Declan Quill gets in deep, tries to play it across, driven ball towards the near post. Svetnov again doing really well to keep it out of trouble. Hokies got to capitalize. This has been a lot of opportunities and a lot of set pieces here in the final minutes of this half.
The 6th corner. As that one goes out of bounds again, so a long one here from the far side. They're going to give it right to Quill to throw it in with 90 seconds left in this first half.
Yeah, I think they wanted to go short there for Felicio, but he was adjusting his socks, so they couldn't do that. So now they go back to the option of the long throw of Declan Quill. Another really good throw and another really good win in the box there by the head of Jack Boring.
Stuck in far and trying to get him, put it back. Oh, that one may have went off the left side of the post. Another chance for Virginia Tech and just can't buy a break here.
Yeah, Colin Boutel got the last look at that one, but they're giving a corner, so Svetnov must have got a hand on this. We'll take another look at it. Great look here from the goal cam.
Right there in front, and again, yep.
What a kick save. Fantastic
I
save.
think that may have, on first reaction, went off his left foot. That was in the air.
That was a kick save. That was a great save.
Again for Virginia Tech. Again, headed out by Louisville. Been done great work on all these Hokie corner kicks. Virginia Tech all over Louisville. This side, that one deflected and kicked back out again.
Hokies are once again asking for a review of this, and they're going to get their wish.
Agulea was the one that was able to kick that free. So with 14 seconds to go, they're going to take a look.
Yeah, this is a huge call. And again, if Virginia Tech can get on the wood right before the half, that would be colossal. Because, again, this is a Louisville team that hasn't scored in over 3 games. So you take that lead to the locker room, you got to be feeling really good. And, again, they've been ascendant the last 5 or 10 minutes. They've had every chance, lots of corners, lots of opportunities, just have not been able to score. All right, here's our first look at it. So a really good touch in the box to create space. Cross comes in. Handball, I think that will be a handball. Had his hand kind of down by his side. It was sticking out a little bit. I think they're going to call this. We'll get another good look at this angle.
Yeah, this will be a good look here. And
I think it might have been his thigh from that angle.
Yeah, it looks like it might be the thigh. This will be a good look right here.
Camera crew's doing a great job here showing these different
angles. Right off the left thigh.
Yeah. But again, good refereeing to look at this because certainly Virginia Tech had a case. Yeah, the second bounce, though, looks like it might have come off. And also the way that Ogunlea reacted to that,
With
he
the
almost,
left hand
he almost
going
seemed a
out,
little bit sheepish about, oh, I think I might have touched it. Did I get away with one? So, you know, those different angles are really interesting because I think it could be his thigh or it could be his hand, depending on which way you look at it. So glad the referees get a couple different angles on this one.
So Alex Svetnov has been busy the last 15 minutes or so. Virginia Tech has been all over Louisville. It's a quick review, and we'll get our official word. And it looks like, yep, as we'll take one more look at it.
Yeah, he's calling a drop ball in this situation. So this is a good angle too. Absolutely off his thigh. Great job by the officiating crew. Yep, off that left thigh. That's the best angle we've seen.
But it's like you said with that left hand, how he just reacted to it. That's what gave enough evidence to at least allow them to go review it with his reaction. So they'll reset this one back up at midfield. 14 seconds to go. One final opportunity in the first half. Virginia Tech just still trying to finish.
So with 10 seconds left, basically, you're going to have to hit this in the box and hope for one more look at it. And Louisville knows that. They're putting 10 behind the ball right now.
Sends this one up middle, and Louisville just been doing great work on the back line, heading these cross passes out right there. So good work by that Louisville back line.
One of his friends in Hong Kong came first, sort of gave him the idea that if he would come, that his friend will help. He left Hong Kong by ship and it landed in Vancouver. He was by himself and he took train, somehow got to New York and landed in Chinatown and went to work as waiter. Somehow he was able to find his way to study at Fort Union. By the time my dad got to Virginia Tech, his friend has switched to VMI, so he was still alone. Lý Kỳ Tảo, Lý Ao Yong, Kai Thi Li. But the name that he loved the most and wanted to use was at Virginia Tech, Kato Lee. Well, he was a hurdler, and then he played little tennis. He was good in all sports, really. He was a very athletic person, but mostly that he liked the best, is the hurdle. I don't know why he tried to teach us, but none of us could do it. He was a well-read person, very well-read, and he always studied different cultures. He was well aware of what he should do to adjust. My dad was an old-fashioned person. He believes in your talent. What's given to you, you need to use it all to the very best, not to be compromised in any way, that's how he believed that athletic ability is a gift. For one thing, he was born in Thailand, and Thailand was in turmoil, and you're not totally free to express. And then come to America, and it suited him because he feels free. Nobody is controlling him or his thinking. Being an athlete, that he was able to make friends with other athletes. He thought very well of the athletes, people that he said they treated him very kindly. I'm lucky to be his daughter. He's a wonderful dad. When you're down, get up. That's what he said. Don't dig a hole. But I think Virginia Tech gave him so many things that he could use and rely on all through his career. He was successful. He doesn't do anything halfway, the leader of the group. He naturally rose to the highest rank, always. He just absolutely loved the school and loved everything about Virginia Tech.
Kato Lee paved the way for the many international Hokies who followed in his footsteps. And tonight, that legacy is on full display. We'll step aside from Thompson Field.
Ever inspired by the people and the passions of the community it calls home, the University of Louisville is committed to opening wide the doors of opportunity, pursuing knowledge and innovation to build a stronger tomorrow, and empowering a bold new generation of leaders, one every bit as ambitious as it is diverse. Together, Cardinals are helping a better world take flight, here and beyond.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. From the first bite to the last bite, that bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, you have those three things together, and it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Real guest paid for their testimonial.
These are the holidays. They can be a lot. And this is your new Dell PC with Intel inside. It helps you handle a lot. From taking care of business with all-day battery life, to taking care of holiday to-dos with AI tools, to taking care of Aunt Jean, even if she can be a lot.
This or that.
Here they come, yo. Here they come.
You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. I think you Venmo this, y'all. Swear's that. Yo, niftily. Yo, we can make it hip to me. What we are, cause what we be the epitome. Do da, dippity. You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. I think you Venmo this, y'all.
Get your Venmo debit card today with free Perplexity Pro.
This or that.
There's tacos. Then there's Zaxby's chicken finger tacos. Get them any way you want, in Chipotle Ranch, avocado bacon, or all-new Buffalo Blue. Taco night hits different at Zaxby's. Zaxby's chicken finger tacos. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's. Any questions?
How did you become the Capital One Bank guy?
I've always been passionate about no fees or minimums on checking accounts.
Aren't you in the Hall of Fame?
And didn't you live in space?
What's in your wallet?
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Hidden Valley Ranch. New bottle, same great flavor.
I'm here at Thompson Field between Louisville and Virginia Tech. When we come back, take a look at the first half stats and some of the highlights here after this.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. From the first bite to the last bite, that bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, you have those three things together, and it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Should we sell the car and get something bigger?
Yeah, we can do both on cars.com.
You're so smart.
I know.
But what if it's twins? What if it's quadruplets?
Huh?
What if it's octuplets?
Are you freaking out? Get it together, Larry.
I got this. I got this.
Uh-huh.
Sell your car with cars.com. Buy your car with cars.com. Where to next?
These are the holidays. They can be a lot. And this is your new Dell PC with Intel inside. It helps you handle a lot. From taking care of business with all-day battery life, to taking care of holiday to-dos with AI tools, to taking care of Aunt Jean, even if she can be a lot.
This or that.
Here they come, yo. Here they come.
You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. I think you Venmo this, y'all. Swears that. Yo, niftily. Yo, we can make it hip to me. What we are, cuz what we be the epitome, do, da, dippity. You can Venmo this or you can Venmo that. I think you Venmo this, y'all.
Get your Venmo debit card today with free Perplexity Pro.
This or that.
Tacos at Zaxby's? You know it. They took their famous chicken fingers and sauced them up in a soft tortilla shell. Taco Tuesday? Nah, taco every day. Zaxby's chicken finger tacos. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
This is my new SoundTech leather recliner from my friends at Rooms To Go. The ultimate all-in-one recliner. It fits everywhere. Sounds amazing anywhere. Surrounding you with booming, immersive sound. Sync it up, turn it up, and let the chair do the rest. So comfortable with plush custom leather. Ooh, this is nice. Yours in 3 great colors.
The new SoundTech Power Leather Recliner by Shaq. Exclusively at Rooms To Go.
Tell them Shaq sent you.
And welcome back to Thompson Field. Some ACC soccer on this Friday evening. Still deadlocked at 0 between Virginia Tech and Louisville. Welcome back inside the booth alongside Michael Minnick, Ford Martin here. A lot to like if you're a Virginia Tech fan, but again, just still haven't been able to finish.
A lot to like is that they haven't scored. They've created a lot of chances. They've had a lot of possession. Really have limited what Louisville's been able to do on the other end. But you got to put the ball in the net, and that's been the problem with this team pretty much the entire season.
As we look on the first half highlights that we saw back in this game, again, Virginia Tech 7 corners, just still haven't been able to get one shot on goal. You would think you would see a little bit more for that on this Virginia Tech team.
Yeah, and they've created some good things off of that. I think back to the Bellatrosh one where they kind of hit it back to the top of the box and he had a long shot. That was really good. Had one go right through everybody as well. It just seems like they're not winning that ball in the air, so the adjustment's got to be kind of played on the floor, played a little bit differently.
All right, as we have now head coach Mike Brenzendine for Virginia Tech. Now join us, Coach. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
what was your assessment there at the first 45?
I thought that we played pretty well. and I think we got the ball in some dangerous spots. I wish we could have been a little bit better in the widths, and we could have scored a goal. You know, again, you can't miss opportunities in this league.
7 corner kicks in that first half. Did you feel like the ball was going where you wanted it to go, and it's just a matter of that final touch not being there?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep.
Well, Coach, thanks for your time. We appreciate
it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and wish you the best of luck in the second half. Take a look at some of the first half highlights where we saw Virginia Tech really all over Louisville, had them on their heels.
Yeah, you see the 7 corner kicks and you know, blocks, shots, goalkeeping jobs. Early cross here that was played in towards the far post. And Svetnov came all the way out to deflect and get and keep an easy tap in there for Alex Perez. And then in a more conventional position, using the foot, the left foot sweeping through. That's such good goalkeeping to get yourself low, block that lower angle with your hands, and then use your feet to block it. And then really Louisville's best chance came off a rare mistake from Sam Joseph. You see the smile there from the senior goalkeeper. He would not have given that one up, but he survives it, and Virginia Tech doubling them up in shots. But again, I look at that one shot on goal. You get that much possession, that many corners, and you only get one shot on frame and force a great save out. You got to figure it's going to come at some point, but that's been the story all year with this team, that they get themselves in good positions, but then they can't put the ball in the back of the net. They can't get that final touch.
Is there anything that you're seeing offensively when it comes to Virginia Tech that they could maybe swap some players around there on these corners to get some more shots on goal?
Yeah, I think getting Traustason back out there is going to be really big, no pun intended, because of his size. They've done a great job of getting the ball wide. They're missing that final touch. He can score with his head. He's really good at using his body to get position. I feel like he could be a game changer in the second half. But again, he's still trying to get fitness back from the injury. Only 195 minutes in 6 games before today's game. So he's not somebody you can play with the entire 45 minutes. So when he's on the field, you got to take advantage. And then when he's not, I think you got to be a little bit more creative with cutting inside and looking to shoot instead of looking to cross.
And just looking back at that game versus Longwood,
Yeah.
just that right there going, had that goal versus ETSU, and then had the hat trick on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and he's a finisher. All 6 of his shots coming in today were shots on goal. So he's not wasting opportunities. When he gets them in a good position, he uses them well. They just have to find him. And I think that was the problem, was those chances were coming late in the half when he was out of the game. So you didn't have that finisher presence. You had some good creators, but you didn't have that finisher.
Using all that 6'3" frame and the freshman from Iceland to try and find a goal. 2 goals in his last 3 games. The second half is underway from Thompson Field, looking to break that deadlock. And does Virginia Tech start to carry a lot of that momentum that we saw in that final 10 of that first half?
It'll be interesting to see. I certainly think Louisville's going to adjust. I think the problem for Louisville, and this was also Longwood's problem on Tuesday, was they're just not getting enough of the ball. And so when you have to defend and defend and defend some more, you're going to give up chances.
See Colin Boytle as that one trickles out of bounds.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's kind of sticking with the attack that they finished the half with. You mentioned Boutel being out there. And that's pretty common in college soccer, where you don't use that substitution right away to bring those starters back in. You wait and you use the window later in the half to get your starters back in when the game's a little bit more significant. You want to obviously score in this situation, but you want to have your best guys out of the last 20, 25 minutes of the game.
Michael, when you look at this Louisville team, just that back line, we talked about it in our open, just how effective they've been this season. Been one of the bright spots here during this, real just as they try to search for their first win. But here just keeping Virginia Tech at bay. As we talked about the struggles of Virginia Tech trying to get shots on goal off those 7 corners, we got to give a lot of credit to this Cardinals team.
Yeah, first one since that Stanford upset is what they're looking for, get that second win in the conference. And again, I think they've been really good in the air defensively. Where Virginia Tech can maybe break them down is get those taller center backs out of position, try and beat them on the dribble or play around them, make them move a little bit, and then put some pressure on the fantastic goalkeeper, Alex Svetnov.
Here's Boydell, sends it in, trying to locate this one and just lofts it right over to Svetnov.
And that was one of the few times they got the ball centrally. Shoot the ball. You know, you don't need to be fancy and cross it. Like, stick it on frame. Make the goalkeeper make a save. Maybe get a rebound. Maybe get something easy because of that. You're just within range. Take a shot there.
And it's seeing that pressure from Virginia Tech, a little miscue there, and hard, kind of lowering that right shoulder there just a bit. Contact there with Jack Boring.
After a first half where we saw only 4 combined fouls, which is incredible for a conference game that you have that few. But again, it was because Virginia Tech was on the ball so much. There really wasn't a lot of transition and back and forth. It was pretty much Louisville defending and Virginia Tech attacking.
As the first 3 minutes here underway. Michael Minnick, Ford Martin here on the ACC Network Extra on this Friday evening from Thompson Field. On a brisk night, the fall color is starting to move in here in the New River Valley. It's a beautiful drive up here this morning, and just seeing the colors start to change as the sunset's starting to make its way here on campus.
Yeah, it feels great for October here. You know, usually you're facing a little bit cooler weather, so this is perfect. And Virginia Tech's had a ton of corners. They really haven't had a free kick in this kind of position. So we'll see kind of what they do here. This is a great situation for lefty to bend in a ball, and I think that's what they're going to do.
See if it gives them a different look right here as they go back out and set up. Right there in front of the net, skin back around. They're going to shoot this one back up. That one is deflected and redirected out. Virginia Tech will still hold. Nice cut back over there. Oh, what a play there. Barrielli, as that just goes out of bounds.
A little too heavy, but again, I think Virginia Tech's just trying different combinations, different things. This was a free kick towards the top of the box. The chip in towards the middle, off a couple of heads. Falls for Alvarez, and an excellent block there from the center back, Jack Boring. And that's part of it, too. Svetanov can make the big save, but we've seen a lot of those defenders getting in the way of things, blocking shots, deflecting things, slowing things down, disrupting the flow of Virginia Tech's offense. And that's why it's still 0-0. That whole defensive line, plus the goalkeeper, have been really good.
Got to give Ogunleya his flowers. He has been busy tonight for Louisville, knocking a lot of these cross-field passes and opportunities for Virginia Tech.
And it just feels like Louisville's forwards have not touched the ball in about 20 or 25 minutes. They've had to really kind of wait, help defend. They were able to get some joy early getting Lee in those wide channels, but since he's come off, they've really struggled to get their forwards on the ball.
How about that? Great pass, tic-tac-toe over there in the far corner to create some space. Here's Mercano inside the box, and that one goes through and out of bounds again. 8 shots for VT, 3 for Louisville on the evening.
That was a really good receive and layout there from Andy Sullins in the middle to create that chance. I like that, and I think that's the formula they can replicate with either Sullins or Traustason is play that center forward a little bit more direct, and then he can either shoot it or receive and turn or lay it off like Sullins did just there. I think those are kind of their true center forward types. Quill can do that too, but I think Quill is a little bit more comfortable in those wide spaces, trying to beat somebody off the dribble than being the final target.
Got to find a way to get going here. Here comes Vasquez with their first real opportunity we've seen from Louisville, and that one just goes out for Sam Joseph. Sam Joseph getting some action here is really the first opportunity we've seen on the Virginia Tech side for Louisville since really that where Sam Joseph just missed that kick and whiffed on it there a little bit and gave Louisville that small opportunity.
Well, flag was up anyway, so they got him in good position, but they got him in position by being offside.
These are two teams that are not called for offsides a lot. We did see a little bit more where they attacked more in that game for Louisville against Belmont, but these are two teams that are not called for offsides very often.
Yeah, Louisville will play a little bit more direct as they are right here. Virginia Tech wants to get around you. They don't do so well getting over you. They want to get around you and use their technical ability to beat you down.
As Brisbane takes that hit there. We'll see if they can try and find a way to get Michael Lee going. He's been able to get some space in those few opportunities we saw early in the first half. And taken back away is the Hokies, but cleared back out to midfield. 7 minutes gone here in the second half, still deadlocked at 0.
Uemana was in a great position there. It was really a 2v1, but he kind of split the difference and made it hard to make the pass, was able to cut it off and clear.
Look there, head coach Mike Brenzendine.
That look kind of says it all for Virginia Tech today. They've been good, but they still have not been able to score through 52 minutes.
Saw there also in John Michael Hayden, 7th year overall for Louisville. looking for their first win against an ACC, or excuse me, their second win versus an ACC opponent this season.
Yeah, first since that huge win over Stanford. Free kick opportunity. And again, because there were so few fouls, we really haven't seen a lot of those, but this will be the second time that Virginia Tech has a free kick. Warning there from Kyle Johnston. It was a little bit of light shoving after that foul, so making sure everything's cleaned up here. And this is a good situation here to serve it in and get a flick. So probably what you're going to do is hit a free kick towards about the left side of the D at the top of the box, get a flick either towards the near post or the far post, and hope somebody can run onto it. That's why Louisville's setting that line at the top, because you want to give your goalkeeper and Sven enough a lot of space to read this, come off his line if he needs to, but also don't let Virginia Tech get the ball too deep. So you put that offside line right there at the top of the 18.
On the free kick here, set up right on net as that one goes out of bounds.
Yeah, headed away by a defender, though, so another corner kick for Virginia Tech. And again, like Coach Brizendine said, I feel like they've had some decent service on these, but really haven't been able to get somebody to get a touch on the back end. The ball in has been excellent, but the finish has not been there.
Well, is it 8-time the charm?
Yeah, we'll see.
So setting things up here again for Virginia Tech. Marcano will take this again. So Marcano off the right foot. Marcano low right there on top of net. Scramble for it inside, heading back out a couple times. Louisville again able to respond and able to clear it out. Nice work there as Bridge Bassey is able to get that one out. Virginia Tech will still hold on.
Yeah, tried to find Solons there in the initial touch as that ball will go out for a throw-in. And I think that's what they have to do in this set piece is you mix it a little bit. Again, I think we'll probably see that ball they played to get Bellatrix the open shot. I think we'll see that again at some point in this game. But I think if you're going to play it straight, Solons is the guy in the field you want to hit, and they tried to find him there.
And Louisville just trying to find the back of the net. Came in here with 271 minutes without a goal. Now at 316 plus here of game action, where we saw that late goal versus Kentucky in that game.
And that's the thing is, for both these teams, especially for Louisville, non-conference results have been great. Kentucky just lost their first Sun Bowl game last night. They were undefeated in the league, and they lost to Marshall, the defending national runner-up, last night. So tying them is a great result. Beating Ohio State is a great result. Obviously in conference, beating Stanford is a great result. They've had good performances, but yet here they are here where they have not had much of the ball. They have not been able to attack much, but they've been able to defend so well that this game's still 0-0.
10 minutes into the second half, what have you seen from Louisville here where they've started to make some adjustments going into the break?
I mean, I think it's been a little better, but I think it's more of the same problem where they just have not had much of the ball in the midfield. You look at the situation like this. The ball's just kind of pinballing around. Nobody's really settling it down. They've tried to be more direct, and I think that's the way to play with Lee is to get into some space. But I think ideally they'd like to have a little bit more of the ball than what they've had.
As we saw Virginia Tech, if you're just joining us, really in that first half, Louisville came out pretty even there with Virginia Tech, but that last 10, Virginia Tech put on a clinic and had Louisville on their heels on that back line. Sam Joseph hasn't been a busy man in goal for Virginia Tech.
But it feels so similar to the Boston College game here a couple weeks ago where BC came out, got a couple chances early, kind of went into a defensive shell. Virginia Tech just kept trying to get the ball wide, cross it in, couldn't finish. Try the other side, got the ball in, couldn't finish. And then Boston College got a penalty kick and won the game. So Virginia Tech's got to have that in the back of their minds that they have to be more efficient with their chances or else they're really tempting fate with the 0-0 scoreline.
Stretches one back out. Ogunlea will back out and hold that one as that one makes its way out of bounds. 33-30 left to go here in the second half. One save apiece for both sides. 8-0 on corner. 7 in the first half for Virginia Tech. Already 1 here in the second. And just over 10 minutes into this second half.
So Parham back on, who started this game, but has been used for the most part as a substitute. So he's comfortable with this role. You bring him in. You take Jack Lewis off, who's one of your integral guys. He's played every minute but 79 this year. So a little surprised to see him come out, but I think you want to get some fresh legs to kind of chase in midfield because Louisville's had to defend a lot. 10-3 on shots. Virginia Tech has been in control. The possession margin
so far here. Trying to slice his way back in. Had a chance and again is not able to finish there as Boytel had some space, put on a little nifty looking move right there at the top of the box, and that one just floats on him and goes wide.
The problem has been you've got 11 shots now and 2 have been on target. They've not been able to be efficient and just turn their bodies. You've seen a lot of wasted shots, a lot of half chances off corner kicks. They have not been able to get that clean shot other than the kick saved by Smedinov late in the first half.
Streets is back along as an open player in Boydell if he finds him in time, and just a little too far front for Boydell. Just couldn't get in time, and just another mistake there for that Virginia Tech team, and just some frustrations we're seeing from Boydell as he just knocks that one high up in the air.
That has to be better. So this is one of the few times that they've gotten Louisville kind of out of position, been able to run at them with numbers, and then the pass is off. That's got to be better.
Virginia Tech trying to strike is inside the box here again. Felicio back over, and the goalkeeper able to go up there and knock that one out of the air and grab it down.
Again, with some space on this side, you've got to cross the ball further away from the goalkeeper. That's an easy catch.
Here is Louisville, and it sends it just maybe a little too far there in front for Vasquez. And Virginia Tech is what they sort of done all night, just controlling Louisville. Here's another real setup. We haven't seen very many of these for the Cardinals. Can they capitalize on this opportunity? Here's Camara.
Haven't had to defend much in this game, but you see why Virginia Tech is so good defensively. Good shape there. 10 players behind the ball. Finally slow down Louisville, win it, and then draw a foul here at midfield.
And we're going to see right here if maybe no card given, so we continue on and move. But it's lowering the shoulder that we saw right there from Camara. And tried a little bicycle kick and not able to finish there, but had the chance for Camara there to try to pounce on it. This one sent back out to goal. And once again, Savetnov makes the save.
Yeah. Good look there for Marcano. Get a second look at it. Ball into the 18. Again, comes off a thigh, but you're trying to be more direct to your center forward. Yeah, a little overhead kick there off the face. That can't have felt good for DeBlasis, but able to block it. And again, that's been Louisville's MO, is they've been in good positions. They've not allowed the clean look at goal. And what they haven't blocked, Svetanov's been able to save.
So Solons gave it his best effort. And the Virginia Tech faithful are wanting to foul.
Went down pretty easily there, I think. I don't think he sold that very well. And then you call the foul the other way.
And the fans don't like that. There haven't been much chirping at the officials here
we talked
this
about
evening.
4 combined fouls in the first half. We're already up to 6 in this half.
See a little tug of the jersey there a bit.
You're not going to get that call, though. And like I said, I think he went down pretty easily there. I think if you try and fight through that and there's some contact, you might get that call. But he went down pretty quickly.
Makes his way out of bounds here. 28:47 to go. Here in the second half from Thompson Field. This ACC matchup. Virginia Tech winning the last 5 versus Louisville.
You look at those scores, a lot of 2-1s, 3-1s, 4-2s. These teams do not play that way anymore. Just a couple years separating the last meeting, and you can just see how they have changed the way that they play. Very good defensively, both sides. 2 great goalkeepers as well.
These teams are not they're very comfortable to last-minute goals. You saw that last season, the 87th minute. But here's a chance now for Louisville on the far side, kicks it over. Here's Vasquez under duress, a couple of white jerseys all around him. Great defending here from the Hokies. Just trying to find an open slot. Hopefully get a corner. They're still looking for their first of the evening. This one's sent on and wide.
what Vasquez did there is so hard because you're 1v2 and you have the sideline and the end line basically as extra defenders. So it's like 1 versus 3 or 1 versus 4. He kept that ball really well, was trying to win a corner and couldn't do it, but still got the cross off. That was impressive.
That was impressive to see right there in the corner, just being backed in every second going by right there to the corner. And great work as they'll send this one there. Once again, getting involved.
And I think Virginia Tech's been a little bit sloppy with their passing in the back, and that's allowed Louisville to get some looks. Louisville really has not been good in build-up, but they've been able to pounce on a couple mistakes.
And it still seems like it's a better second half compared to what we saw there for Louisville, and that they did play better in that second half versus Belmont on Tuesday. Some of those adjustments have at least given Louisville some more opportunities compared to what we saw in the first.
And just relieving the pressure, not having to defend all the time. Even if you can get forward for a minute or two and keep the ball and just give your defenders a chance to catch their breath, I think that's really important with the way this first half ended, especially where Virginia Tech was all over them, getting lots of corners, lots of chances. Louisville's been able to get a little bit more of the ball, be opportunistic with forcing turnovers, and take some pressure off their defense.
Allowing them to take a deep breath there. Didn't have very many opportunities for that in the final 10 of the first.
But again, it just feels like a game where we're going to see no goals or one. This is not going to be a game where somebody's going to score and somebody's going to score right back. I don't think. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll jinx it. But this just feels like a very tight game where both teams are doing what they want to do defensively. And this is a big moment. I think we'll see Traustason go the last 26 minutes of this game. So that changes the equation. Having a target, having a guy who's in good form with his finishing, that might be the difference in this game. Just getting Traustason in position once could be the difference in this game.
Of course, as we talked about, if you're just joining us, Tuesday night scored the hat trick versus Longwood. And someone that Virginia Tech's really going to rely on here in the final 25.
And here's immediately a chance where you can get this free kick and serve him. He can flick it to somebody off the initial service. He can bring it down himself. This is where he can make an impact.
Marcano. Didn't like what he saw, and VT will reset.
And you see Louisville's just got everybody behind the ball right now. Just not allowing that penetrating pass. Keeping their nose clean here.
Inside, try to give it, and hits the left side of the net. So another shot, but still not on goal. However,
yeah, it was deflected, yeah.
All right, they're going to say it's deflected. Okay, so this is going to once again give VT another corner kick coming up here. Wasn't able to see that on first hand, so corner kick number 9. They're still going to go for that quick look there, Michael. As that one's headed out inside, and he gets it in! VT finally breaks the deadlock, and they move in front.
Yeah, really good ball in. And again, I think the quick corner was huge there. Change the angle, get in a good position. You can see the frustration there from Louisville. They were not ready for that corner kick. And guess who? Dagur Traustason with his head again.
5th goal of the season coming in here off that hat trick on Tuesday, and just moments after subbing in off the corner, Knights times the charm and finds its way at another header in the back of the net.
Again, the service is excellent, but the work he does there, he's got a defender on him in Kuhoa Kali, and he also has the goalkeeper Svetanov coming. Beats them both to the ball and then just does it out. Again, you don't have to hit that hard. With the goalkeeper coming out especially, you just have to deflect it. You just have to place it. That's what he did. But an excellent service in. And again, the difference in this team with Traustason's on the field, you see right there. He's bigger, he's stronger, he knows what to do inside. And again, second game in a row, Marcano has found him with a cross to his head.
So right there, the assist from Marcano, who had that second assist on Longwood versus Longwood on Tuesday. So Virginia Tech moves in front now with 24 minutes to go.
And this is going to totally change how Louisville plays because they've sat back. They've defended with 8 or 9 or 10 at times. As you see, the heater for Traustason, 5 goals in the last 4 games. Now they're going to have to put some numbers forward, Louisville. They're going to have to press this a little bit. that'll open up some space for Virginia Tech to maybe get in behind, which they have not been able to do.
Reminder of the Cards that have lost the last 5 to VT, all coming in 1 or 2 goal decisions.
Virginia Tech would love to get that first conference win in the bag. And again, I think looking at their schedule going ahead, they really have an opportunity to get some momentum here. They're undefeated in their last 3. 2 of those are out of conference, sure. But you go into South Bend and get a tie last weekend. That was big. That builds some momentum for you that you can come back and get a result on it's a top 25 team on the road. Then you come home. You play well against Longwood Tuesday. Now you're ahead in this game trying to get that first conference win against a Louisville team that, as we mentioned earlier, top 25 in the RPI, has some quality wins. This is going to be a valuable win for the math as well as for the conference standings if you can pull it off.
So 23 minutes here to go. And talking about that Virginia Tech schedule coming up at UNC here later on. But right now, for the meantime, as this one is sent right out of bounds. So we'll revisit real quick that schedule coming up for Virginia Tech, coming at UNC October 19th versus Winthrop down in the Big South. And their Big South opponent, their second in 4 games.
And those are all teams in conference that are around you in the table. You know, you've already played Notre Dame, you've already played Stanford, you've already played some really good teams at the top of the table. So if you can just take care of business head to head here, you're going to put yourself in a good spot to make the ACC tournament. Saw the sub there, Quentin Wilson coming in, and I think he's someone that also can give this team a spark. 2 goals off the bench for them this year, and that's exactly the kind of role they're asking him to do. Come in late, as the card is shown there, the yellow to Ruiz Mateos for that tackle.
And he doesn't like it. So Mateos given the card.
Well, I've never seen a guy that sees the card and is like, oh, yeah, you're right. I was bad. That's my bad. He's still talking about it.
As the sun's starting to set right there, and you see it right there on your screen. It's actually right in our face here as well.
Well, and I think that's a factor for these goalkeepers as well. And that's where that cross came from. I don't think the sun was necessarily fed enough eyes because he read it well. He was out to come get it. But, I mean, that half millisecond of hesitation because you can't see as well, that can make a difference in a situation like this.
22 minutes here to go. Moments ago, Dagur Traustason with the go-ahead goal for the meantime. And a leading 5th goal on the season for the Hokies, who subbed in, and then a few minutes later, off their 9th corner kick, Virginia Tech moved ahead. Here once again, here's Boydell. Boydell now tried to thread the needle.
Yo, by the way, it was for unsporting behavior, so you must have said something to the referee, Ruiz Matos.
St. Joseph will send that one ahead.
And I think, that header went out for a throw-in. This is where having Traustason is a weapon, too, because you've got the lead. You don't have to necessarily go for broke here. If you get in trouble, you can just kind of play it over the top, try and play to Traustason's side. He can win the ball himself. He can hold it. If he can't win it clean like there, he can head it out of bounds and give away a throw-in. So now that you have the lead, you don't have to roll the dice as much. You can play a little bit safer. And with Traustason as an outlet, that's a nice weapon to have.
And we talked to head coach Mike Bridson-Dine here earlier this week, and one of the topics was just about finishing. And we talked about in our open as well. But one thing we talked about when we asked about Dagur was he talks about his finish and what he's been able to produce this season here in the last at least few games.
Well, and I think, too, scoring with your feet is tough enough. He scored 3 with his head in the last 2 games. That is really hard to do because it's harder, period, because usually – you got to head it down to score, which he did there. So you're doing that in traffic with a goalkeeper coming out to try and punch it, with a defender on your back. A lot of times those headed shots are going to get blocked, but he's been able to get angles and attacking postures that get him in a position to cleanly head those in. He's done that 3 times now in 2 games, in addition to scoring 1 with his feet to finish off the hat trick on Tuesday. And that's exactly what this team needs. I feel like all the other pieces are there. They're great defensively. They build up well. They possess well. They just need somebody to bang it in, and he does that.
This one's sent to the far side inside the box. Traustason there tried to turn that one back around. Gives it over to Quill. Quill trying to fight some space there. This one's lasered right on net, and what a save getting made by Savetnov. And the 10th corner upcoming for VT.
Yeah, going to his left there, really good save. But again, the target there, when you have a guy with that size, holding up the ball. Another quick corner.
They're trying to go quick again. Lofts this one back out and just too strong there on the pass on the near side.
Traustason on that last attack, he got the ball at the top of the box. He didn't get a firm touch on it, but he did enough with his body posture and with a little bit of a deflection to keep that play alive and create a shot for his teammates. 10 corners for Virginia Tech, and I feel like if they hadn't scored on one of those, they'd be doing corner kick practice for the rest of the week. But they do put one away, and that's the difference in this game.
Mike, just look at that graphic.
Yeah.
It's just this almost really unheard of here. Just by the way, Louisville started the season again 5-0-0, best start in program history, and just since then. And again, we talked to the head coach there with Louisville and John Michael Hayden, and he's just like, we asked him, what can you do to get back to that style of play? And he laughed off and said, we're trying to figure that out ourselves right now currently. Hokies trying to set it up now. Dances his way right on that line and hits the outside of the cage.
Guess what? It's
Another
corner kick for Virginia Tech. This will be 11. And I think, too, for Louisville, they've gotten a couple chances, but that's mostly been because they've forced turnovers or Virginia Tech's made a mistake. They really have not done a lot to create them themselves. As you see, most corner kicks in more than a year against his ACC opponent. 11 now and counting. We still have 18 minutes to go in this game. And again, I think that plays to Virginia Tech's strengths. They get the ball wide, you're going to get deflections, you're going to get corners easily in that situation. Traustason's got to be the target again here.
Off the corner with the left foot, and again headed out, something we've seen Louisville do very well today, clearing these corners out. Traustason inside, trying to use that big frame. And knocked down right there is Vasquez. So they'll reset here. So Louisville, not really the response that we thought we would see coming off that Virginia Tech goal to move ahead. It's been still all Virginia Tech, and we've seen it here as of late. It's just been all Virginia Tech at the start of the game in the first half. Louisville stayed right there with Virginia Tech and the Hokies, and then as the half went on, the Hokies got stronger as that one just gets ahead, and just a miscue right there, just too far in front for the streaking Vasquez. And as this second half has gone on here, it seems like the Hokies just keep getting stronger.
There really have not been a lot of times where Louisville's gotten 2, 3, 4 passes connected to the attacking half. It's been a lot of, we're going to try and play direct, hope it works. It didn't work. Lose ball to Virginia Tech. Easy stuff for the goalkeeper, for the defenders. They just have not gotten into a rhythm at all or any kind of comfort in this game. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech's been able to get their outside backs forward a lot, as we see Felicio do that right now. On the other side, Uimana's got himself in good positions. Their outside backs have probably gotten in more dangerous positions than Louisville's forwards have in a lot of this game.
Dangler's way to get some free space up and back on the back door, not there in time, but still a good dish to try and find him streaking right there to the net.
Yeah, once again, Declan Quill in a pretty good spot, and then just a half step off for making something happen.
Again, looking for his first goal in the season. Just talk about finishing, trying to get him to find the back of the net.
So now they got one guy going. If they can get a second guy going, then they've got to be feeling pretty good.
You're looking
about
at a
their
pretty good
stretch
offense
run.
now.
Right. And again, I think their setup is great. Perez is in great form. Marcano has an assist now in back-to-back games. Their midfield's been really good.
Perez sets out. 15:40 to go. And the Hokies, who have been all over Louisville all game long. Sets this been back in the corner is Camara. Camara again trying to find his way out. But the Hokies will still hold on here. Can the Hokies double dip? Again, in scoring has really been an issue a little bit this season for Virginia Tech. That game against Longwood, that was their first 3-goal game of the season. Centered up and no one is home.
They also haven't lost since Traustason went in the starting lineup. This is just his third start, but you've got a draw in South Bend, a dominant win over one where he had a hat trick, and right now the game winner in a conference game against Louisville. So he has made a massive impact since getting healthy. And again, he's only a freshman. He's going to have 3 more years to get better and better and better in Blacksburg. And Virginia Tech is in no rush. They can just keep the ball here, work it around, be patient, make Louisville chase and chase and chase some more. And really, Louisville has not put a ton of pressure on them. I'm surprised they haven't pressed higher to try and make something happen. Because, again, they've forced a couple turnovers and been effective when they've done so.
So again, out here for senior night and international night as well. Great crowd on hand on this brisk night from Thompson Field. In Blacksburg, Virginia, sun starting to set over that New River Valley.
Beautiful sunset.
And I was talking to you earlier, you kept talking about how the sunsets here are really nice and coming here, and it really is beautiful going in for this fall weather. Perfect night for some college soccer.
I mean, you go up in Appalachia, you're going to love your mountain sunsets, and I love me a mountain sunset. And that's really the first touch that Joseph's had in a while, and that's going to be one of the easier ones he's going to have all year. Just an easy cross he sees all the way. And again, senior here, smart. He's going to hold it as long as he possibly can. He's going to kill some time. He's going to probably drop it at his feet here in a couple seconds. Build up that way.
Hasn't been too busy this evening, except the one time where it was a long ball that was sent right to him and just whiffed on it, just a bit, hit the side of the foot. Didn't get everything he wanted on it and gave a quick opportunity for Louisville on the turnaround shot, but wasn't able to capitalize. Joseph was able to get back in time.
And to your point a few minutes ago, Louisville has one shot in this half. They've been chasing this game for about 20 minutes now, down a goal. They have one shot in this half, and it was not on target. They have just not done enough.
Is it more so that you're seeing just Virginia Tech just defending well, not giving many opportunities for Louisville?
I think they're winning a ton of balls in the midfield, and that's been a big reason why. If they don't win the first ball, they win the second ball like they just did there. They've done a great job of breaking things up and not allowing Louisville to get any kind of rhythm. And again, they've only been 1 or 2 times where it feels like Louisville's been able to get on the ball, get their head up, run into a defender. It's been a lot of side-to-side passing, or passing it back, or forcing a turnover. And then Virginia Tech's build-up has been really good. Situations like this where you can just kind of spread the field, work your triangles, make the easier pass, work it up the wing, create another chance.
12 minutes to go. Virginia Tech out front 1-0. Off the goal from Dagur Traustason, who subbed in later in the game, in this second half. A few minutes later, able to find the back of the net on what has been a corner-heavy night for the Hokies.
And something we talked about with Mike Brizendine, is we'll stop the clock for a couple of injuries, is Louisville's size. And how do you defend against that size? Well, one way to defend against that size is not let them get a single corner kick, or let them get a single free kick in an attacking position. They have checked both those boxes. When Louisville's gotten forward, and it's been infrequent, it's been on the ball, on feet, trying to beat somebody 1v1. Not time to get numbers forward to throw their bigger center backs into the box and trying to win a header. Virginia Tech has really done what they've wanted to do defensively.
So on that note there of corners, it's been, so far, if you are curious, they have 11 tonight. The season record they have for this season was 17 versus Canisius earlier this season.
Yeah, and again, I think that says a lot of the story of how this game has been played. Yes, 1-0 Virginia Tech, but the Hokies have had 4 times as many shots, infinite number more corner kicks because it's 11-0. 4 saves made by Svedanoff, just the one for Sam Joseph. Not offside either for Virginia Tech. So they've just played a really clean game offensively. Again, the finish is not what Mike Brizendine would want it to be, but they've done enough in this game if they can just play the defense they've been playing all game to get out of here with a win.
Headed back out, here's for Louisville. Now running back, there's for a chance for Louisville to get inside the box. Rush it in, and good work by Virginia Tech. But however, for the first time tonight, Louisville is going to get a corner kick.
Yeah, and here's the moment that might be the biggest one of the game right here. Center backs are coming up for Louisville. They've done a nice job in the air defensively. all it takes is a good ball here and a header, and we're tied at 1, and all this good work that Virginia Tech's done goes for nothing.
Condich now here for the first corner for Louisville. Can they find the equalizer here with 10 to go? As that one just goes right off the right shin of DeBlasis and out of bounds.
That was always going to be a tough ball to turn. Even if he was open, that would have been a tough pass to make. But he was well marked on that play. So, frankly, a wasted opportunity for Louisville. We didn't even get it past the first guy. And now you got to come back and defend. I feel like probably about now they're going to change formation, go for broke here a little bit. They're going to have to. They need a result in this game. 1-4 in the league, just 3 points in the league. And if this result holds, Virginia Tech passes them in the standings too. So it's meaningful for that reason as well. Not only are you trying to dig yourselves out of a hole, but you're letting more and more teams get in front of you in the standings.
And some contact right there for Virginia. I wasn't able to see exactly who that was. It went down, and that is
Traustason.
Yeah.
Pretty much any ball they're going to play in the air, they're going to want to try and get him involved.
So Traustason now is able to get back to his feet. Good to see. Approaching 10 minutes to go here.
And now, again, you give away a free kick in not a super dangerous position, but one where you can hit a ball towards the top of the box and get a header, or you can play it short and just possess. Either way, you're going to kill some time.
And we've seen a lot of this from Louisville. They've been able just to head it out and clear it for Louisville. Streaking it back here on the near side. Here's Quill, who tried to push that one across, and
hey, a corner kick.
Not able to finish. So another corner kick upcoming. As we talked about it, the season record was 17 versus Canisius, so number 12 coming up for the Hokies.
To your point, though, Ford, Louisville's winning the ball well in the box, but that second ball's going right to Virginia Tech every time. They can put it right back down their throat. That's what they did here again to win a corner kick.
Coming up here is Marcano.
Yeah, Traustason is set up on the goalkeeper right now.
Headed back up and sent up high, and Louisville again. Not keeping things easy, a little bit different. Trying to get that right foot up right there of Traustason there. So Traustason gets that high foot up to maybe try the bicycle kick. But that would finish and racing off here again. Here's VT and offside.
Good idea, though, and I think that's going to open up more for them because Louisville's going to have to put some numbers forward. So that leaves you more susceptible at the back. You're probably going to keep your center backs pretty tight. So the wide areas are where there's going to be opportunities to counterattack. Virginia Tech's got to be smart in that situation and do that, but also pick their spots. They don't want to give possession away, but if there's an opportunity to hit it over the top and get a break, they're going to take it.
Approaching 8 minutes to go. Does Louisville have something late that they can put together? But it's been all Hokies from the get-go. And right now for Virginia Tech, by the way they have just played so far, just controlling, are you in a position right now where you just want to bleed clock here?
Yeah, I think you just do what you're doing right now. Keep the ball, attack, don't do anything crazy, but take the opportunities you have. And again, because if Louisville doesn't have the ball, they can't score. So the more you can keep the ball, knock it around, be patient in possession, you're going to shrink this window for Louisville to get a goal back. I think Virginia Tech's playing it exactly right now.
As the sun is starting to set, Virginia Tech trying to get their first ACC win on the season. They're 0-2-2 on the year. Most recently playing, at the time, the 23 ranked Irish of Notre Dame had a draw in that match.
And I think if they make the ACC tournament, that is one you circle on the road, down a goal, you get one late, and it comes from Ethan Page in his college debut, no less. You look at the resume for Virginia Tech. Again, you would love to have that Boston College win in your pocket, or at least a tie. You'd be in a better position. This win helps with that. You get off the schneid, get up to 5 points in the league with 5 matches played. Not great, but not terrible. puts you in a position to make a jump. And again, with the ACC schedule, that strength of schedule is going to rise. You're going to move that up. Louisville, on the other hand, great resume non-conference. You beat Stanford to start conference play, and it's just been a little bit of a decline since then. This would be their 5th straight conference loss if this result holds. And again, they started 5-0, so this is 7 winless if they can't pull out a result in this game.
I'm talking to John Michael Hayden earlier this week, and just talking about they've had a tough. He said they've had a tough schedule here to start the season.
For sure, and they played well against that schedule. And you know, I think their defense is one of the best in the nation. Problem is their offense has given them absolutely nothing in this game, and their midfield has really struggled to get any kind of the ball.
But you look at the conference and the ACC altogether, a lot of teams inside the top 25.
Yeah, in terms of how the coaches are voting, and also in terms of how the computers are voting. Strength of schedule, head-to-head. And again, I give a ton of credit to these ACC teams. They could easily, you know, say, okay, we're going to play a really tough schedule out of conference, or really tough schedule in conference. Let's play a weak schedule out of conference. They haven't done that. They're playing quality programs because they know that they need to be ready for ACC play. That playing quality opposition in the out-of-conference schedule is going to put you in a position where you can do your best in conference play.
Here's one of the few opportunities for Louisville, getting a free kick now. And the Hokies doing what they've done well, just not giving the Cardinals many chances.
Yeah, didn't even touch the ball in that free kick. It was up, went off a couple Hokie heads before it was finally cleared.
They'll kick this one back on the far side again. Here's Marcano. Marcano putting some moves together. Trying to get a little open space to get a shot off. How many shots here that we've seen from the Cardinals is...
Yeah, Kamara there was just trying to make something happen himself. Really didn't find anybody to combine with at all, but will be a throw-in opportunity. And again, I think this is smart. It's late in the game, but you want to make sure you capitalize on these chances. So Boring to take the long throw in. You bring all the big tall trees up in the back and try and get a flick here.
Boring will throw everything in his might out there to get the opportunity for Louisville. This one kicked out. And back-to-back nice saves there on the back line for VT. 2 opportunities in a row.
Another long throw in coming.
And Joseph with the save.
So, not much in that attack. But what would drive me crazy if I'm John Michael Hayden is that last attack, you're in a promising position on the left. You think you've got a handball call. Your guys stopped playing. They were yelling at the referee instead of trying to play. You've got the ball in a really good position. You're fighting for it. And instead of trying to win that ball, you're yelling at the referee trying to get a call instead of trying to play soccer.
So 5 minutes left to play from Thompson Field on what is a beautiful backdrop on this Saturday evening. Settle down. You're back for Parham as that one out into the stands, out of bounds. So Louisville have another chance here.
Well done there by Felicio, 1v1 to defend that. Give away the throw-in, but that's better than giving away possession, and then just cross right back in and turned over.
And someone's name we haven't really called on much is Bridgebassi there as he got involved. And also Michael Lee just haven't really had a chance to call his name very much in the second half.
Yeah, I think he's someone that looked good at times out on the wing, but really has not gotten himself in a position as the clock will stop here at 4:12. And we'll have a warning here for Noah DeBlasis from referee Kyle Johnston.
We'll take another look at that here one more time. DeBlasis gets in and just right there goes an attack. Give him the warning right there. Just some conversation there, and
that was the problem.
DeBlasis coming in.
That was the problem. It wasn't so much the foul. It was what DeBlasis said there, and that'll get you the final warning. So, again, that stops the clock, which serves that purpose for Louisville. But now you have to defend a free kick. And you could just see the numbers back for Virginia Tech. If they were tied in this game or they were losing in this game, they'd have everybody forward. But because they're ahead, they're putting 4 or 5 guys behind the ball just to be safe.
But just the shot volume tonight. 17-5, 11-2 in the second half. Virginia Tech leading that category.
Yeah, again, I think to be an A+ performance, they'd want to have a couple goals on the board. But this has been like an A- or B+ performance. They've had a lot of the ball. They've defended really well. They've created a lot of corner kicks. It's been a good, solid conference performance here at home for Virginia Tech. But again, you're only up one. One touch, and this game is tied.
Well, we've seen Louisville. They're no stranger to late goals. We saw it against it, which actually turned out to be their last goal they had with Quintos there in the 89th minute and that draw versus Kentucky.
And you wouldn't necessarily think it so much, but losing Quintos as a defender hurts them because they kind of have to make a ripple effect to replace him. So, and Quintos was a player that got forward well, an experienced guy coming out of Wisconsin, had 2 goals on the year. So yes, he's been playing defender, but he's a guy that can finish for you. And also pretty good in the air. Even at 5'11", he's pretty good in the air. So I think that hurt Louisville today. They've had to kind of adjust to his absence the last couple games, and they have not scored without him.
It's a 3rd straight game with him as he's tended that hamstring injury. So 2:45 to go left in this one from Thompson Field. Again, Virginia Tech has just been in control in the possession margin that we've seen all game long, especially that final 10 where it was just opportunity after opportunity for the Hokies. Now here's Louisville now. Here's a cross-field pass. Headed out outside the box, and Virginia Tech defends well.
Yeah, I think, as I said, the first, Arieli has had a great game. Arieli has been fantastic, winning headers, winning the ball when he's had to. I thought the first half when Louisville had more of the ball, he had a couple really vital interventions to break down attacks, whether it was with tackle, whether it was with his body position. He's played really well in that center back spot today.
Far side back over for Quentin Wilson. Louisville putting on a little bit of a rush here now in the last few minutes. Can they find the equalizer?
I would bet on Uimane in a duel against just about every forward in this league, and he won another big one there in the corner.
A slide tackle right there. They play on. Fans wanted a foul there. They're not going to get it.
Offside anyway, so kill some time here if you're Sam Joseph.
So 1:15 here to go. 1-0, Virginia Tech out front. Scored by Dagur Traustason. His 5th goal on the season, has now scored in 3 of the last 4 games. Here's Quill with under a minute to play. Quill gets some space inside the box, inside Traustason. Can he get another one? He does! And he scores! 2nd goal on the day.
And a lot of times you'll see a player in that situation go to the corner and kill some time. Declan Quill kept going to goal, had the space, played a really simple ball. Traustason was in a great position again, and he has now scored 5 goals this week.
So Dagur with the dagger, and they extend the lead to 2-0 with 44 seconds to go.
Again, it looked like Quill was just going to maybe go to the corner there. Again, the defender's trying not to foul there, and Quill took advantage, went inside. Traustason was wide open. That was on a day where Louisville has defended very well. They lost the biggest man on the field in that moment, and good finish too. Saw where Svedinov was and finished it. Svedinov was really sitting at that near post. Not his best angle, and exactly where it needed to be from Traustason. And what a way to cap this half for Virginia Tech. This feels like a deserved multi-goal win. They have been dominant today.
You want to talk about the 5th goal this week. How about, again, that's the 5th straight goal that Virginia Tech has scored, and it was by Dagur.
So Traustason has now scored 6 of the team's 15 goals this year. And again, he's probably played in about 260 minutes this year with the 60 or so he's going to play today. So you got to wonder if they would have had him day one where this Virginia Tech team would be, but they're happy to have him now.
So Virginia Tech will improve to 5-2-4 on the season.
That's 4 in a row.
First conference win of the year.
First conference win, 4 in a row undefeated as well, 2 wins and 2 draws, and momentum going into a really important road game now against North Carolina.
So Louisville will once again drop and be shut out for the 4th straight game. Will drop now to 5-5-2 on the season.